comics, merchandise, TV shows, video games, and movies, the Ninja Turtles are still going strong. While the Ninja Turtles are still going strong for over 30 years now, we gotta go all the way back to the beginning with the creators, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. So Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird created the first TMNT comic book back in 1984 while they were roommates that were just messing around one night, and they just started drawing silly figures and pretty much showing each other what they were drawing, and they came up with a drawing of a turtle as a ninja, and that's how everything started. So of course they needed to come up with a story before making a comic book about it, and with that they had no idea how huge the Ninja Turtles were about to become. They first released the first comic book without realizing how huge of a hit it was about to be. So with that, Mark Freeman, producer, came to them with the idea of licensing the Turtles for a toy line. And while Kevin and Peter agreed to try to do a toy line based on the comics, the road for Freeman trying to sell the line for companies was not easy, as Mattel and Hasbro and others were turning him down right away. But after the bumpy ride that Freeman was having trying to sell the line to make toys, Playmates were finally the ones that took the deal and tried to make a toy line for the Turtles. But in order for Playmates to sell the toy lines for kids, they came up with the idea to try to make the Turtles a little bit more light. Playmate noticed that it was going to be a little hard to sell toys based on a comic book that was kind of dark for kids. So with that, they switched around the Turtles' characters and story. And that's how the Turtles ended up having different personalities and different color bandanas. We cannot forget that the first comics by Peter and Kevin, all 4 Turtles had red bandanas. So with that, also Playmate came with the idea of making a TV show, a cartoon TV show, to try to sell this new brand for kids around the world. And that's how the Ninja Turtles TV show came to be. So a little after the TV show was made, they finally released the toys and they started selling them at Toys R Us. After a few days, 2 weeks, Toys R Us was already calling back Playmates for them to sell them way more toys because the Ninja Turtles were selling out. And with that, Mark Freeman wanted to continue the momentum by going even bigger and making a movie. While the creators were still not too happy to make a movie about the Ninja Turtles, they still gave it a chance to see how it will go. Even producer Mark Freeman was a little worried after watching the movie before release. The movie was dark, so everybody was worried that the movie was not gonna do well for kids. But again, with that, the Turtles still caught them by surprise. The movie was huge and it was breaking records everywhere. So with all this, by now we already have the comics, we have the toys, we have the movies, and even video games. So of course, with all this still being a huge hit, they were still trying to ride the wave by making a 3rd movie. But by then, that's when the wave started going down, with lots of fans and kids starting looking the other way. And even the toys were not selling the way they used to sell. They even tried doing a live action TV show, and that was a huge flop. After the long break in 2003, the Ninja Turtles started coming back with a new show and toys. And a couple years after that, Nickelodeon came back with a brand new show for the Turtles with TMNT in 2012. The show and toys were a huge hit, and the Turtles were really back at this point, selling out toys and even bringing back the fans that grew up with the Turtles. And around this time, even new movies were made, produced by Michael Bay, but a lot of fans were not fan by the design of the Turtles. Even with that, the movies were not doing that bad in the box office, and the fever for the Turtles was really back. But even with the ups and downs, the Turtles' legacy continues strong.